Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here in the workshop. Walter, back by the wood wall. Topic of the day is wood and moisture. And yes, the heat just kicked on. It is my contention that if you stand wood up, it has the freedom to move and warp and twist as opposed to horizontally on stickers with weight on top. That's one thing. The other thing is the temperature down at the floor is lower than it is at the ceiling. And in the winter, you have the heat on and it dries out the air. So your cold, damp air is down low and your warm, dry air is up high. So I just tested this board with a moisture meter and it varied 2% from the floor to the ceiling. So I have now flipped it over and what was on the floor is up on the ceiling. It's a piece of cherry. So this is just a piece of poplar and it's been standing against the wall. And this is about 6 foot high. So let's take a look at that. So at the top, it's measuring 6.9%. Now this is a pinless meter. It works through, knock your wood over. It works through electronic waves of some sort, maybe radio waves. Now what was down near the floor is 7.9. So it's a full 1% difference on a 6 foot piece. Remnants of my bat making days. Look at that. Clear white hard maple. Absolutely perfect. Not a blemish in it. That's what I used to make some of my bats out of. And the other thing that fell was a piece of cherry I used as a finishing test. All different types of finishes. I did this years and years ago. What did I use? I used clear lacquer. That's a product called Craft Coat. And I think this was walnut oil, shellac, linseed oil, Doc's High Build, Wood Turner's Finish, and Pens Plus. And I did that to see what would look better over time and what would yellow. So you can see the Craft Coat kind of yellowed. The clear lacquer is always good. Shellac is always good. The linseed oil and the walnut oil, they soak in. And this Wood Turner's Finish also turned yellow. Pens Plus is nice. So there's that. So just remember, if you're going to build something that you want the wood to be dimensionally stable, you can't stand it up like this. You have to store it horizontally, like this, on some sort of a flat, level surface, and you want sticks between it before you get ready to do your build to let air pass through it. So if I want to use this piece of wood for a jewelry box or something, I would have to get it up on the shelf with sticks and leave it sit for 2, 3, 4 weeks so that it would acclimate. And I would want it between waist or workbench height and eye level, or even a little bit above your head, right in this area here. I hope this helps. We all store our wood different ways. Vertical can be helpful because you can get to a board quick, but it also lets the wood kind of free float, and it can warp and twist. It can pick up moisture, it can lose moisture. Ah, boy, I tell you, old man winter is not giving up on us this year. So I hope you found this helpful, useful. I doubt you'll find it entertaining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and head out to your workshop. Check on your lumber. If you don't have a moisture meter, there's a lot of good ones out there. I'll post a link to the ones that I like. There were two that I used to have. This one, I decided on the pinless when I was doing furniture. And when I was doing mostly air drying of my own lumber, I would use a pinned, the same style, but it had pins out here, and you would poke into the wood. And we'll talk more about that possibly on another video, how and where on a board to test for moisture, because you don't go in the end grain of a board. That's absolutely the wrong place, because on a dry day, it'll be dry. On a wet day, it'll be wet, because that's where the sponge just sucks the water in or lets it out. You got to be in near the middle of the board. So head out to your workshop. May you have a blessed day. Walter out.